Welcome to the Warriors Haven podcast, the place where discipline meets purpose and everyday people become unstoppable. I'm your host, Jaisha Sutherland, a retired Army drill sergeant, single mom, and the founder of the Warriors Haven. Around here, we talk fitness, mindset, and the mission of building a stronger you, mentally, physically, and financially. Because this isn't just about the gym. It's about life, leadership, and living on your terms. So gear up, lock in, and let's step into the haven where warriors are made. Hi friend, it's your favorite drill sergeant, Jay. Welcome back to this episode on the Warriors Haven. We're continuing on this series built by discipline. So this episode is not motivation. Today's episode, I'm hoping, will be more like training, because I need you to understand something that could change the way you see your entire life. See, friend, you're not lazy. You're not broken. You're not weak. You are not missing some magical personality trait that successful people have. A lot of time, what you are fighting is your own brain chemistry. And today, we are going deep into one of the most powerful chemicals in our brain. I know so many of us have heard this chemical before, read about it, maybe even studied it. And this chemical that is found in our brain is called dopamine. Now, you've probably also heard people say dopamine is the pleasure chemical, but that is way too simple. Dopamine is not just about pleasure. Dopamine is about motivation, focus, learning, movement, drive, effort, reward, and discipline. It is the chemical that keeps your brain and helps your brain say, get up, go after it, try again, this matters, keep going, finish what you started. And when dopamine is out of balance, your life can feel like this. You wake up tired. You scroll before you even get out of bed. You promise yourself you're going to work out, but you don't. You start a plan on Monday and quit by Thursday. You know what to do, but you can't make yourself do it. You feel busy all day, but still feel behind. You want discipline, but your body feels like it's dragging 1,000 pounds behind it. And then you start attacking yourself. Start saying things like, I'm lazy, I'm inconsistent, I have no discipline, I always quit, I don't know what's wrong with me. No. Pause right there. Because today, I want to teach you what may actually be happening. Your brain may be trained to chase easy dopamine instead of earned dopamine. And when that happens, hard things start to feel impossible. Not because you can't do them, but because your brain has been trained to crave quick rewards instead of meaningful ones. So let's break this all the way down. What is dopamine actually? Well, dopamine is a brain chemical. The professional word is neurotransmitter. That simply means it is a messenger. Your brain cells use dopamine to send messages about reward, motivation, movement, learning, and effort. One of the most important things scientists have studied is something called reward prediction error. Now, don't let that phrase scare you. Reward prediction error means this: your brain is always guessing what reward it is going to get. When something is better than expected, dopamine goes up. When something is worse than expected, dopamine drops. When something happens exactly like expected, the brain learns from that too. That is how your brain updates itself. It learns what to chase, what to avoid, what to repeat, and what to ignore. Research on dopamine shows it plays a major role in this reward prediction system, which helps the brain learn from past experiences and adjust future behavior. So when you grab your phone and see a notification, dopamine. When someone likes your post, dopamine. When you eat sugar, dopamine. When you gamble, shop, scroll, snack, binge watch, or check your messages, dopamine. And here is where it gets dangerous. Your brain does not only respond to the reward, it responds to the anticipation of the reward. That means sometimes your brain is not chasing the thing. It is chasing the possibility of the thing. That is why scrolling has become so addictive. You are not scrolling because every video is good. You are scrolling because your brain keeps saying, maybe the next one will be good. Maybe the next one will make me laugh. Maybe the next one will inspire me. Maybe the next one will distract me from how I feel. That little maybe is powerful. That little maybe is dopamine. And if you are not careful, that little maybe will steal your mornings, your evenings, your workouts, your focus, your discipline, and your purpose. So we have so many conversations on why we feel our energy is broken. Right now, let's connect this to energy, because this is where the warrior's haven lives. Energy is not just caffeine. Energy is not just hype. Energy is not just sleeping more. Energy is the way your brain, body, hormones, nervous system, food, movement, and habits work together. If your brain is overstimulated all day, your energy is going to feel drained. Here is what most people are doing. They wake up and immediately flood the brain. Phone, messages, emails, bad news, comparison, noise, notification, other people's lives, other people's opinions, other people's emergencies. Your brain has not even had water yet, and it is already in battle. Then you add caffeine. Then you skip breakfast or eat something that spikes your blood sugar. Then you sit for hours. Then you feel stressed. Then you say, I don't have energy. No. Listen, your body is not confused. Your body is responding to the way that it is being treated. You cannot feed your brain chaos and expect clarity. You cannot train your brain on distraction and expect discipline. You cannot keep giving your body fake energy and expect real power. This is why this conversation matters. Because if you want more discipline, you need to train the system that discipline runs on. That system is your brain. So now let's talk about discipline. Most people think discipline means being hard on yourself. No, friend. Discipline means you are able to do what matters even when your feelings are so loud. That is discipline. It is not punishment. It is not shame. It is not yelling at yourself. Discipline is a trained relationship with discomfort. And dopamine is part of that relationship. Research shows dopamine is involved in effort-based decision making. That means dopamine helps your brain decide if something is worth the effort. In simple words, your brain is constantly asking, is this worth my energy? This is why hard things feel harder when your dopamine system is off. Your brain looks at the workout and says, that costs too much. It looks at meal prep and says, that costs too much. It looks at building a business and says, that costs too much. It looks at healing your life and says, that costs too much. And then your brain reaches for something cheaper. Scroll, snack, avoid, complain, procrastinate, start tomorrow. That is not because you are weak. It is because your brain is trying to save energy and find reward at the lowest cost. But here's the drill sergeant truth. A life built on low cost rewards becomes a high cost life, because easy dopamine feels cheap in the moment, but it gets expensive later. You pay with your focus, you pay with your health, you pay with your confidence, you pay with your self-trust, you pay with your dreams. Now, let me hit this pain point directly. Some of you are not tired because your life is too hard. Some of you are tired because your brain has been trained to escape hard. I know that one might sting, but stay with me. There is a difference between needing rest and avoiding growth. There is a difference between being exhausted and being untrained. There is a difference between needing support and using your emotions as permission to stay stuck. And friend, I say that with all of my love, because I have lived discipline. I have trained discipline. I have had to rebuild myself in seasons when nobody was coming to save me. And what I know is this: your brain will always choose what you have trained it to choose. If you train it to scroll, it will crave scrolling. If you train it to complain, it will crave complaining. If you train it to quit, it will crave quitting. If you train it to move, breathe, fuel, execute, and finish, it will learn that too. Your brain is not fixed. Your brain can change. That is called neuroplasticity. Big word, simple meaning. Your brain can rewire itself based on what you repeat. What you repeat becomes easier. What you avoid becomes harder. So when you say, I just can't stay consistent, I want you to ask a better question. What have I been consistently training my brain to do? Because you are consistent. You may just be consistent at the wrong things. Consistent scrolling, consistent skipping, consistent starting over, consistent staying up late, consistent saying yes when you need to say no, consistent putting yourself last. So the goal is not to become consistent. The goal is to redirect your consistency. Now, let's talk on this topic that is another one of my absolute favorites, and it's our brain health. See, your brain is physical. It's not just thoughts and feelings floating around. Your brain needs oxygen. Your brain needs blood flow. Your brain needs nutrients. Your brain also needs sleep. It needs movement. It needs sunlight. Your brain also needs connection, and your brain needs recovery. So when people say, I need more motivation, I want to say, no, friend, you need brain care, because motivation does not live in the air. Motivation comes from a body and a brain that have enough fuel to function. The CDC says adults need at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity activity each week, plus 2 days of muscle strengthening activity. And that can be broken into 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. Well, why does that matter for this episode? Because movement helps your brain. Exercise has been shown to influence dopamine and other brain chemicals, and research also connects exercise with BDNF, which is a protein that supports brain cell growth and learning. BDNF is like fertilizer for your brain. When you move your body, you are not just burning calories. You are feeding your brain. You are improving blood flow. You are helping focus. You are helping mood. You are helping memory. You are helping discipline. This is why I keep telling you, fitness is not just about looking good. Fitness is brain training. Nutrition is brain training. Sleep is brain training. Discipline is brain training. Your lifestyle is either protecting your brain or punishing it. So let's talk about sleep, because some of you are trying to discipline your way through sleep deprivation. And I love grit, but grit without recovery becomes burnout. The CDC says adults need at least 7 hours of sleep per night, and insufficient sleep is linked with higher risk for chronic conditions like obesity, diabetes, hypertension, heart disease, stroke, anxiety, and depression. Let me make that plain. When you don't sleep, your brain pays for it. Your patience gets shorter, your cravings get louder, your focus gets weaker, your emotions get bigger, your discipline gets harder. You are not just a little tired. Your brain is operating with less power. Now, add stress. The American Psychological Association's 2024 Stress in America report showed that stress remains a major issue, with more than 7 in 10 adults reporting the future of the nation as a significant source of stress. Stress matters because chronic stress keeps your body in survival mode. And when your body is in survival mode, it is not focused on growth. It is focused on protection. That is why you can have big goals and still feel frozen. Your mouth says, I want more, but the nervous system says, we are not safe. Your calendar says, let's build, but your body says, we are exhausted. Your vision board says, dream bigger, but your brain says, I need relief. This is why I do not teach discipline as just push harder. Some people do not need to push harder. They need to regulate first. Regulation means you calm the system enough to execute. A regulated body can make better choices. A dysregulated body chases relief. That is the difference. Now we need to talk about food, because nutrition is not just about weight. Nutrition is chemistry. What you eat talks to your brain. Ultra-processed foods are designed to be rewarding. Reviews on ultra-processed foods and the brain describe how these foods can affect reward systems, mood, cognition, and eating behavior. Let's make that simple. Some foods are not just filling you, they are training you. They are training your brain to want quick reward. Foods high in sugar, fat, and salt can be very easy to overeat because they hit the reward system fast. That does not mean you are a bad person. It means the food was designed to be hard to stop eating. So when you say, I have no self-control, I want you to understand, you may be fighting a food environment that is built to win against your biology. This is why we do not just use willpower. We use systems. You do not keep the thing you binge on sitting in your line of sight and then call yourself weak when you eat it. You change the environment. That is discipline, not shame, structure. So now let's get tactical, because I do not want you just listening to the episode and saying, wow, that was good. No, I want you to do something today. Here are 5 simple steps to start changing your brain, energy, and discipline. Not next month, not Monday, today. I want you to take the first 30 minutes of your day and train your brain. Most people wake up and immediately give their attention away. Phone, messages, social media, email, news, drama, comparison, and then they wonder why they feel anxious by 9 a.m. Your first assignment? No phone for the first 30 minutes. Not because your phone is evil, because your focus is sacred. In the first 30 minutes, do this. Drink water. Open the blinds. Step outside if you can. Breathe. Stretch. Write down the top 3 things that matter today. This tells your brain, I am in command. Not the phone, not the notifications, not everybody else's emergency. Me. I am in command. That one habit alone can shift your entire day, because the way you start your day teaches your brain who is leading. This one's big. Do not wait to feel motivated. Move first. Your brain often needs action before it gives you motivation. So your rule is, before I negotiate, I move for 10 minutes. Walk, stretch, do squats, march in place. One of my favorites, dance in your kitchen, go outside, do push-ups against the wall. I don't care if it is pretty. I care that you move, because movement changes state. Movement tells the brain we are not stuck. We are active. We are alive. We are capable. Remember, exercise supports dopamine and brain health. It also helps BDNF, which supports learning and brain function. So stop trying to think your way into energy. Move your way into energy. Now, this one might hurt some feelings. Your brain cannot run well on chaos fuel. If your breakfast is sugar and caffeine, your energy is going to rise fast and crash hard. Then you call it lack of motivation. No, friend. That may be unstable fuel. Your step? Build your first meal around protein, fiber, and water. Keep it simple. Eggs and fruit, Greek yogurt and berries, a protein shake and oatmeal, chicken and rice, turkey wrap, whatever fits your life. This is about giving your brain steady fuel, because when your blood sugar is all over the place, your mood, cravings, and focus can be all over the place too. And listen, you cannot build a disciplined life while constantly fighting preventable crashes. Fuel is discipline. Hydration is discipline. Protein is discipline. Preparing ahead is discipline. This is how you stop making your body fight battles it does not have to fight. Now, I feel like this is the heart of the episode. You need to teach your brain that effort creates reward. So every single day, choose one small task and finish it. Not 10, 1. Make the bed. Walk 10 minutes. Read 2 pages. Send the email. Meal prep 1 meal. Clean 1 space. Do the workout. Drink the water. Finish the task. Why? Because completion builds self-trust. Every time you finish what you say you would do, your brain gets evidence. I can trust myself. And self-trust is the foundation of discipline. Most people do not need more confidence. They need more evidence. Confidence is built when your brain sees you keeping promises to yourself. So today, pick one earned dopamine win. One thing that requires a little effort and gives you a real reward. Not fake relief, real pride. This is how you retrain your brain. Now, you also need an evening routine. Not a fancy one, a real one. Because your brain does not go from chaos to sleep just because you climbed in bed. You have to train the landing. Your step? Create a 30-minute shutdown routine. Here's what that can look like. Dim the lights. Put the phone away. Prepare clothes for tomorrow. Write tomorrow's top 3 tasks. Take a warm shower. Stretch. Read. Pray. Breathe. Go to bed at a consistent time. The CDC recommends at least 7 hours of sleep for adults, and sleep quality matters for health and emotional well-being. So stop treating sleep like something you squeeze in after life takes everything from you. Sleep is not weakness. Sleep is strategy. Recovery is not laziness. Recovery is leadership. You are not a machine. You are a human system, and systems require maintenance. Now, I want to give you a challenge. For the next 24 hours, I want you to do these 5 things. No phone for the first 30 minutes. Move for 10 minutes. Eat 1 protein-based meal. Finish 1 small promise. Do a 30-minute shutdown routine tonight. That is it. Not a full life makeover. Not a 75-step plan. 5 things. Because change does not start when your life is perfect. Change starts when you take command of the next decision. And I want you to hear me. Your brain can change. Your energy can change. Your discipline can change. Your life can change. But it will not change because you listened to a podcast. It will change because you use what you heard. Information does not transform you. Implementation does. So let's bring this home. Dopamine is not just about pleasure. It is about drive. It is about effort. It is about learning. It is about whether your brain believes the hard thing is worth it. And if you have been living on cheap dopamine, scrolling, snacking, avoiding, procrastinating, numbing, this is your wake-up call. Not to shame yourself, to train yourself. You do not need to hate your body into discipline. You need to lead your brain into structure. You do not need to wait for motivation. You need to create momentum. You do not need to become a different person overnight. You need to become the kind of person who keeps 1 promise today, and then another tomorrow, and then another the next day. That is how discipline is built. This is how energy comes back. This is how the brain changes. This is how your life starts moving forward. And today, I want you to say this. My brain is trainable. My energy is rebuildable. My discipline is not gone. I am not lazy. I am in training. Because you are. Friends, I hope you found this episode to be educational. You can take that 5-step process and implement it today. Go back, re-listen to this episode if you didn't have your notebook with you. Share it with someone who you love, who could really benefit from all the information that I just shared. Again, I'm your favorite drill sergeant. You've been listening to the Warriors Haven podcast. And as always, stay strong, stay focused, stay ready. I'll catch you on the next one. Hi, friend. Thanks for tuning into the Warriors Haven podcast, where we turn discipline into freedom and help you build the body, mindset, and lifestyle you deserve. If today's episode fired you up or gave you just that little push you needed, don't stop here. Head on over to thewarriorshaven.com, where you'll find details on how to jumpstart the next version of you. Remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about showing up for yourself every single day. So until next time, stay strong, stay focused, and stay ready. I'm Jaisha Sutherland, and you're listening to the Warriors Haven podcast.